Welcome, everyone. Hello, loves. Oh, lovely. So I am in London, and I'm loving it here. I'm here to see friends and clients, and I'm realizing there's a bit of a bad light. Let's see how this goes. Okay, I'm gonna just go quickly pop up to move it a little bit, guys. Give me a second. Okay, this should be better. This. Awesome, my love. So thank you so much for being here. Oh my God, we have a very awesome YouTube live today. And I haven't done this in a while. I know, I'm sorry. A lot of you have been reaching out to me. What happened to my Saturday YouTube lives? What happened to them? Because I said I want to do them every week. Well, I was traveling a lot and I was seeing clients. I couldn't do those for a few weeks, but we're back today. A bit of a different timing because again, I'm working later. I'm seeing a client, but here I am with a topic that I wanted to bring to you for a while, and this is how to thrive after a breakup. And the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because throughout the lockdown, so many relationships ended. My relationship ended. A lot of my clients, a lot of my friends ended their relationships, and some of those relationships, they were like really long, 3-4 years together. But the lockdown came, it brought things up to the surface, and these couples broke up. And it's hard. It is really hard, you know. It's like a breakup is always a difficult phase in our lives, but it can also be a great opportunity. So even though of course we still don't want to let go and we're holding on to our former partner, and there's hope that maybe we can reconnect and things can still work out, but the truth is that if that relationship was really working, it wouldn't have ended. Like if you get physically separated and like you both were really serious about each other, you would have gone through the challenge of being separated. If one of you bailed, that says something. If you were together and you couldn't survive being together in the same household, right? Like 24/7, that says something about the relationship. So it broke, like the breakup is called that because something was broken, something wasn't working. And so you can take this opportunity to rebuild yourself, to be stronger than ever, more magnetic, and thrive more than ever before. So in my case, my relationship ended a few months ago. And I mean, I was going through a lot of pain because I thought, this was the love of my life. I thought we're planning, children within like next year. And then boom, suddenly it's over. So I was going through a lot of pain. But despite going through the pain, I got into like the best physical shape. There are 2 or 3 moments in my life when I was in an incredible physical shape, very strong toned body. That happened then again. I reconnected with some of the most incredible people in my life. Like I sort of like lost track of them and we reconnected, inspiring each other. It was so beautiful to bring them back into my life. I up-leveled my social circle. Like I hang out with people who inspire me, and it's something that I forgot about. I forgot how important this is for me. Also, I really have been looking at my patterns. Like I said, the relationship ended because something wasn't working. So how was I contributing to this relationship not working? But also, why was I allowing that type of treatment? Right? So this is about me. This is about my self-worth, my feeling or lack of feeling of deserving of being loved. So I've been looking at my attachment styles and my relationship to my parents. And in fact, I healed so much with my mom because I got stuck with my parents in the same household. So I was forced to look at those things. And there was so much healing that came from that. There was so much awareness that came from relating to my dad and realizing how I was projecting certain emotions from him towards my partners. So I got a chance to really look at my shit so I can let go of the things inside of me that made me attract toxic relationships and toxic partners in the past. And so this video today is to share with you 11 steps to thrive after a breakup. So I'm not talking about moving on because like it's easy to move on. I'll speak about it. You can, distract yourself. You can start having lots of sex, you can ignore it. Like it's easy to move on if you want to. What's not easy is to take the opportunity of this painful period and turn it into the blessing that it really can be. And the first thing I want to share with you that I feel it's super important is that we look at relationships as failures. And because of that, it actually impacts our ability to grow and learn from the experience. So because we think that ending a relationship is a failure, then we end up staying in bad relationships way longer than we naturally would. We would rather be unhappy, but we want to show to the world and ourselves that like we nailed that part of our life. Because think about it, there are three main desires we have in life. We want to have a lot of money, we want to be abundant, we want to have great body, right? It's all like, okay, how to make more money, how to lose weight, and how to get the love of your life. These are three primary desires everyone has. So if you're in a relationship, it's like telling the world, hey, I nailed one of the three most important things of my life. So now that the relationship ends, it's like admitting that, hey, actually, I failed. And think about it, endings in general they have this bad rap in our society. So when you get fired, oh, it's a failure. When you get dumped, it's a failure. Like basically endings are considered to be as in you did something wrong. And the crazy thing is that death is the ultimate ending. And look how afraid we are of death. So there's such a strong conditioning, like not to even come close to ending of anything. If we have, for example, a really amazing company that's been on the market for many years and put up some really amazing products and really made lots of money, but then the company goes bankrupt, you don't even remember of all the good that a company did or all the accomplishments. What you focus on is like, oh, the company went bankrupt, it failed. So we again look at what went wrong. It's like basically, thing can last a long time, but if it ends, all we look at is the fact that it ended. So it must have been a failure. And so oftentimes we look at relationships as, oh, it was a failure because it ended. So I want to invite you to change that perspective. What if simply the fact that something ended didn't mean that it was bad? What if ending wasn't bad? What if ending was actually something good? Think about, for example, how the educational system works. So you go to elementary school, then the elementary school ends. It doesn't mean you failed. It means that now you're ready to go to the middle school. And then this ends. Why? Because now you can advance to high school and then university. So endings basically mean, hey, you got everything you needed from that thing. It's time to step into something bigger and better. We got more for you because you're ready. Now you're equipped and ready for more. So I want to start looking at your breakup from a different perspective as a starting point of this whole journey to thrive. So, if you were in a relationship, it means that you took a risk. You took a risk that maybe you would get hurt and heartbroken, but you're going to show up. You're going to show up for love. That's courage. And look, chances are that if you were willing to sacrifice your standards and your values, you could still be in that relationship. But you chose not to. Instead, you chose yourself. What is really important for you? You chose your standards, your values. So at some point, it came down to your well-being versus the relationship. And you chose yourself. Again, if you look at breakups, in most cases, if you were willing to totally let go of your standards and values, you could still be together, but you didn't. So how can that be a failure? Choosing yourself, like going for what you truly desire, which was not that relationship. How is that a failure? If you felt that you were not fully met in that relationship, so you decided to cut it, no matter the pain, how is that a failure? That's a success. That's meant to be celebrated. Choosing yourself, no matter how difficult that choice is. That's to be celebrated. So if you start looking at the breakup as wow, this is me choosing myself. This is me honoring myself. This is me feeling, my self-esteem, the fact that I deserve great things. This is what I just did. I just chose myself. Now, if that's our approach to breakups, that allows us to go through the breakup through a very different process. Because again, if we think that breakup is bad, as a concept, that it's something bad, that it's a failure, then we don't allow ourselves to go fully through that experience. Instead, what we end up doing is we hide our pain, we hide our tears, and we pretend that all is good. Or at least we may pretend to ourselves, or we may pretend to the outside world. So we kind of continue functioning as nothing happened, even though our heart is broken. And this is when we end up distracting ourselves. And you may do this, or you may have done it yourself. Maybe your former partner has done it. But how often do people jump right into the next relationship? Like few days, a week, 2 weeks pass, boom, they're in a next relationship. Why? Because they still need to prove to themselves and others that, hey, I'm not a failure in relationships. I'm worthy of a relationship. So something didn't work out. So once again, we end up getting into the relationship, which we may not be really happy, but we'd rather be in a relationship than, admitting that, hey, I just broke up. That didn't work out. Because remember, we want the three things. We want love, great body, and money. So again, falling back into the pattern, I'd rather be in a relationship that doesn't fully meet me than be single and having to admit to myself that, hey, there's something I need to look at. Maybe I contributed to losing that person. Instead of facing parts of ourselves that may have contributed to the breakup, you'd rather go and start dating someone else. But this pattern, and it's something we really need to start looking at, because all you're doing is changing partners, but you're not changing yourself. You're depriving yourself of the opportunity to thrive. And look, yes, like I said, you can move on. We all move on at the end of the day. And so sometimes people think that, oh, I'm doing so much better because they've moved on. But they're not, because they're actually the same person they were before. All that happened was they're doing good. Then the breakup happened. You go down, you go really down. And then simply you finally move on and you go back to where you were before. But you're not thriving. You haven't changed. You went basically to the same level that you were before. You haven't taken the full advantage of the situation to rebuild yourself, to become stronger and to change the pattern so that you change the trajectory. You don't want to go back to the same trajectory. You want to change it to go up and actually increase the quality of your life. But just because you went through the breakup, just because you moved on, that's not going to happen. That is a conscious decision. It's a conscious choice and conscious steps that you need to take. And yes, we do see people end up marrying people that they used for the rebound, but we also see that what is this relationship about? Or we see those rebound relationships ending very soon, and then a person gets into the next relationship. And sometimes people get into 1 or 2 or 3 relationships, and only then they finally process the relationship that they lost years ago. Only then they're like, okay, it's time to finally look at why that relationship from the past ended. So what I'm telling you is, don't postpone this, because if you postpone the process, you're going to repeat the pattern, and then you'll be like, why things don't change? What I'm telling you, stop now, take an advantage of what's happening to rebuild your foundation, to set new foundations, way stronger, and allow yourself to thrive in a way that you haven't yet thrived in your life. Okay? So again, I want you to look at breakup as a time that can be very insightful and valuable, and the time that can launch you, can launch you onto a higher level of life. So like I said, that was definitely my case. My relationship ended a few months ago, and the thing is that we really loved each other. And if it wasn't for the lockdown that physically separated us, we probably wouldn't be able to let go of each other. But also the lockdown brought clarity. And I believe it brought clarity to him as well. But of course, I can only speak about myself. And I knew that I could no longer stay in that relationship because it meant sacrificing myself, my dreams, my work, my life force. So now I've had this incredible opportunity to reclaim it, but also set certain patterns in place to make sure that I never ever sacrifice any of those things for a relationship. And one of the incredible things that happened for me, so like I said, initially I was actually resisting the process because I felt embarrassed about it. I mean, I'm a Tantra teacher, I'm an intimacy coach, relationship coach. It's like having a relationship, it's like I need to have it on my CV. It's like I need to be in a relationship to be able to teach this. And on top of this, I was meant to co-host a couples retreat with my beloved. And I remember in the past actually thinking that, this is really not working for me. I feel I'm being limited, like I'm not thriving being in this relationship. But again, I felt I cannot break up. I need to do whatever it takes to make it work. And I have this retreat coming up. What will I do? But like I said, in the end, we had to end our relationship. And, the funny thing is that all those fears, like I was so afraid, like people will stop following me. Clients will not want to work with me. And the opposite happened. I had more clients come up to me. And one of the reasons was because of my honesty, because they could see that, okay, I understand what it's like to lose someone you thought was the love of your life. And I could relate to a lot of my clients. They saw it. And yes, my love, I can relate to the pain. I can absolutely relate to the pain of losing a relationship. I can relate to losing, this vision, this story of the future together, and suddenly, boom. I can relate to being left for another woman. I can relate to being in a bad, toxic relationship that kills your energy. I can relate to all of this because I've gone through that. In the thing is that one of the things I want to pass also in this training to you is that thriving, like, look, you don't need to thrive. Like I said, you can just move on, but then you're going to repeat the pattern. And this is, to me, a key. It's not a challenge for a woman to get a man. Darling, this is the easiest thing we can get, right? Like, you go out, dress up, so many men are going to hit on you. You can get a man like that. But that's not what I'm interested in. I'm not interested in jumping into the next relationship. What I want is to find my true love. I want to get into the relationship that's going to last because I want a family, I want children, I want to grow old together. And I have a big vision for my life that I want to co-create with my partner. That's what I'm going for, not just any relationship. Again, I could very easily get into the next relationship, but that's not what I'm looking for. And, and especially like I'm trained in this, like this is my expertise, how to treat men so that they feel seen and they feel adored and empowered. The men I've dated, they've all been crazy in love with me. Like they did for me things they didn't do for any other of their partners. It's because I know this. I'm good at it. I know how to show up for a relationship. But what I also realized, and again, a breakup is a chance for that, is that as women, we need to filter better. So, as long as you know how to connect your sexuality, your sexual energy, your feminine radiance, you can get men very easily. The question is this the kind of a man that you want? So again, if you just move on, yeah, you can get another man. But if you learn to thrive, if you really rebuild yourself on a deeper level, then you're setting yourself for a very different relationship, for the relationship that you truly desire, where you will be fully met on all levels, where this person will meet you and will inspire you. And you will not have to convince them that you're worthy of being loved because they will know that, because they will be so deeply in love with you and they will be ready to show up. So one thing also I want to share, and this is very true, especially for women, is that we have this very strong conditioning, like that you should be in a relationship and how you should be in a relationship. And let's just say that the environment and the society is not supporting this process. So again, we want to thrive, but it's difficult when the society is almost pushing you, get into the relationship, get into the relationship. So it's like, okay, it seems that it's more important to just be in a relationship, whether how you're being treated in that relationship, if it's something good or not, if it serves you or not, if it empowers you or not. So first of all, we've had centuries of conditioning that we need a man, that getting a man is the most important thing, even if it comes at our own expense. We've been conditioned to feel that and think that for so long, because for many centuries that was true. Women couldn't take care of themselves. We were not allowed to work and make money and make decisions. So that is still a very strong conditioning, and you have to be aware of that. Secondly, it's look at what's considered success these days. Success is based on masculine principles, meaning if you make tons of money, you're successful. But for a woman, for example, to create a cozy and happy home, if you want to be a housewife, take care of children and your family, that's not considered a success. We don't value that. So that again changes how we approach relationships, because maybe that's what you desire. Like I said, I want a family, and when I give birth, I want to be there for children fully. But that's almost considered like, oh, you're settling down, you have no ambition. So again, all of this conditioning that makes us jump into the relationship in a way that maybe is not how we want to do that. And then all the jealousy between women and stealing men and like stabbing each other. Like, I don't know if you experienced this. I'm assuming, yes, I have. Like women who are like sneakily trying to steal a man from you. Like, it makes us really hold on to our men so tight, even though maybe I don't actually want that man. Maybe actually, no, go and take him, because that's not what I want. So again, what can you do to take advantage of this experience and thrive? And I want to share 11 things with you. And I just want you to understand that everything I'm sharing, it's not like you got to do all of it right away. It's a process. And that's something I really want you to just be okay with. There's divine timing for everything. It's like you take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Then 6 steps forward, 2 steps back, right? The thing is that, like I said, I'm not here telling you how to move on and get into the next relationship or get laid. You know how to do it, my love. We all know how to do it. What I'm telling you is that I want to share with you things to help you move to the next relationship, which is going to be the thing that you desire. Okay, so it's not the quick solution. You're in it for the long game. We're in for something that you want to last forever. So let's not rush it. It's okay to take time, because, just imagine, what would you prefer? Speeding up this process now, getting right into the next relationship, and then after 6 months or a year, realizing this is not it and starting over, or taking a few more months single, looking at these things, rebuilding yourself, and then getting into the relationship that you've always desired. Okay? That's what I want to talk about. Okay? That's my desire. That's what I want to guide you to. So I got 11 things for you that I want to share. Okay? So the first one is changing the mindset. And that's what I've been talking until now about. So this is the time, breakup is the time to discover things, uncover things. Okay? This is a metamorphosis. So look at it, that what's happening right now, it's not the worst thing that could happen to you. Okay? It's not a failure. Ending of a relationship, breakup, it's not like, look at it differently. The breakup is not the ending of something, it's the beginning of something new. Okay? So just start looking at the fact that right now, going through the breakup, you're already preparing for the next relationship. So you're in a phase of preparation. And this is, by the way, something I really felt very strongly connected to in my case. So I really felt that it's like I'm getting ready for something. Imagine you're going out for the event, and it's like a fancy event. So you have your outfit ready, you're taking shower, doing your hair, makeup, everything, right? It's like you're getting ready for something that you're extremely excited about, and you want to look your best. Like, you don't want to rush it. You don't want to go with greasy hair or like some, wrinkled clothes. You don't want to rush it because it's so important. And so it's the same here. You're in a phase of preparation for this most exciting, amazing relationship. Okay, that's number one. Number two, what you need to do is learn about your own needs. And to do this, you need to first analyze your past relationship. So, which needs were not met in this relationship and why not? Was it because you were not aware that you had those needs? Was it because you didn't express that you had those needs? So you didn't ask for those needs to be met? Or was it because your partner simply decided not to meet them? So maybe you were aware of the needs, you asked for them, but they just said, no, I don't want to do it. All three levels require a bit of work. You got to know what your needs are. That's number one, that's the foundation. You have to ask for those needs to be met. We cannot expect that the partner will magically figure out what it is that we need. And the third is, if your partner is not interested in meeting those needs, then you got to ask yourself, why did you stay in this relationship in which your needs didn't matter? In a relationship that was one-sided. Okay. And the best way to work with this is to work with inner child. And there's a lot of different ways you can do it, but the easiest one is you simply close your eyes and you go into a little meditation so that you drop deep into your body and simply visualize in front of yourself a child, your inner child, the little you. And you start building a relationship with this inner child in your mind. And so you see if you can approach, if the child wants you to approach because maybe they won't feel safe. Ask them questions, maybe offer them some toy, some food, little candy. Ask them, hey, would you like to play together? And start building that relationship. This is how we get to know what we need and also how we get to learn to ask for it. Because you need to be the one who's taking responsibility for your needs. And again, if your partner is not interested in meeting those needs, babe, that's the one of the biggest red flags out of the relationship. So if despite that you stayed in the relationship, you got to look at yourself. Why? Why did I not prioritize my own needs? Why was I so afraid to lose that relationship that I was willing to sacrifice what actually I needed? Okay, so do the work around your needs. And this is a big, big, big topic, love. Big topic. You can do rebirthing on this, lots of meditations. You can do medicine work. You can tons of things. But you gotta understand what your needs are. Learn to ask for them. And if someone is not willing to meet them, learn to walk away. Number 3. Okay, this is really awesome. I want you to embrace your sexuality. Now, for women, this is so powerful because your sexuality is the source of your power. So here's the thing. It does not mean that you're jumping into the next relationship or you start sleeping around or you go for hookups, you go out, get drunk and just sleep with someone to move on from your ex. No, this is not sexual empowerment, my love. This is actually disrespecting your own sexuality and your body. No, that's not what we want. But what happens is that when a woman goes through a breakup, if you start connecting to your womb and your yoni, you may discover there's a lot of pain in your genital area. Because oftentimes, if a woman wasn't met, if she didn't feel safe, if her needs were not met, that trauma was also experienced at the level of sex. And so oftentimes, like the idea, for example, like if you imagine yourself now being sexual with your ex, it literally make you feel like repulsed or nauseous. Or you cannot even imagine yourself having sex with anyone. Like just any idea of being sexual with someone, with another partner, being penetrated, it's just like gross. You cannot watch porn. It's because you felt defeated sexually. And this is how women have been defeated over centuries. Look at what happens. Like women are not killed. Like, you know, if we hear of different crimes, women are raped. Same during the war. What happens? Women are massively raped because that's how you defeat a woman, by abusing her yoni. And so a breakup, when you go through the breakup, you realize that there is some sort of abuse at the level of yoni. And so we don't want to look at it. So we kind of end up being disconnected from our sexuality. And so we are disconnected from the source of our power, our magnetism, our charm, and our creativity. And we need all of these aspects to actually thrive and rebuild our foundations and be the most magnetic self that we can. So I'm actually going to talk about it later at the end of this training, because I have something for you that you can do if you really want to reclaim your sexuality. But just know, darling, that this is a perfect time to learn about female sexuality, to explore sexual tantra, learn these things, because this is the time when you get to that. By the way, so I just get a message that my connection is unstable, so I don't know if you guys can see me. Okay, I hope everything is good. So when you really dive and learn about your own sexuality, you will realize just how powerful you are. A woman who's fully empowered in her sexuality will never allow a man to mistreat her. Because we build our self-esteem through our sexuality, through our pleasure, through our deep connection to the body. So again, if we go back to the needs, point number 2, and you realize that, hey, this guy totally ignores when I ask him to meet my needs. If you're connected to your sexuality, you have no problem walking away, or you have no problem expressing your boundaries and having a discussion with him so that he does actually take your needs seriously. So that's the third thing, okay? Do whatever it is. Sign up for courses, go for retreats, do some women's work, get your first jade egg, do things around your sexuality. Number 4 is linked to this, and I mentioned this. It's sexual healing. So like I said, when we come out of the relationship, there is a trauma in your yoni. There is a sexual trauma. There maybe at the end of the relationship, you were not having sex. So that is also a form of a trauma. Or maybe you were, but you didn't feel safe anymore. There's, contraction in the heart. You still gave your body to this person. So there may be trauma from that. And the way you work with this, something that you can do on your own, is simply connect to your womb or your yoni. So you close your eyes and you place your hands on your womb, and then you place your hands on your yoni. And when you go deeper into the meditative state, you start asking questions. And you just ask your womb, ask your yoni, how are you feeling? Is there any pain inside of you? How do you feel about us ending that relationship? It was really surprising for me, but when I was doing this work, I uncovered incredible pain in my womb, because we were planning a child. So I was filling up my body, getting ready, to welcome a child soon. And then when we broke up, there was this incredible pain, this void in my womb. And with Yoni, she felt disrespected because when I expressed certain needs around my sexuality, they were ignored. So my Yoni felt ignored. So there was so much crying I've done just by connecting to my body. And another thing you can do with your Yoni, you can sit with your Yoni in front of the mirror and just look at her naked and witness her. And just through witnessing her, things can also come up. And again, there are more advanced practices here, and I'll speak about them as well later in this video training. So I'll give you some more tips on this. Number 5 is allow yourself to be witnessed through the eyes of other people, men and women. So when we go through the breakup, it's very easy to start questioning our self-esteem and our sense of worth and our value. Do I deserve love? I probably don't deserve love because they left me, right? So it's not always easy to see yourself, to see your own value and your own beauty and how amazing you are. So borrow another person's eyes. And there's a difference when you do it through the eyes of a woman and the eyes of men. So with women, they reflect back to your femininity. With men, that's where you get to see, oh, this is how men look at me. Men find me attractive. So both are extremely beautiful and helpful. So really what you want to do is just connect to men and women, speak to them, express what your vulnerability is in the moment. And if they truly love you, if they truly see the beauty in you, they will reflect it to you. They'll be telling you things like, darling, you're beautiful. You deserve a great relationship. You're so sexy. I find you attractive. I can date you. So all of this is really, really helpful because, it's like, let's say there is a jar and there's a label on the jar, and it says sugar, and you're inside of this jar. So you may not know that this is a jar for sugar because you didn't see the label. It takes someone on the outside of the jar to read the label for you. And so sometimes we just need someone to tell us what they see when we are too stuck in the story and we don't see it on our own. Number 6, look at what did you do right in that last relationship? Like, how did you show up in a good way? What are you proud of? Okay, so in what way were you a great partner? In what way were you a great partner? What amazing things did you do for your partner? You know, it's like, for example, I feel really proud of certain things that I did for my partner. I really supported him. And I love doing this. Like, I can be an incredible supporter, a muse, and like a cheerleader for my partner because I love doing this. I love seeing my men succeed. So I'm proud of myself how I showed up. I believe I'm a very caring, nurturing person. I showed a lot of affection to my partner. I'm proud of myself for doing this. Like, I was like, you know what? I really was a good partner. Like, that relationship was great because I gave all of those things. And he enjoyed this relationship because of the things that I did, I provided. So I want you to, take some time and journal down. What are the things that you did right? What can you be proud of? And then let's look at the other aspect. What would you like to do differently this time? So I don't want you to like analyze, oh, it was really bad, I did that. No, that's not the angle. The angle is, what would you like to do differently in your future relationship? Now, in my case, like I said, I needed to stand up more for my boundaries and for my needs. Like, no, this is my need, and I need this to be taken care of because I let it go way too easily. So I know that I want to show up differently in that regards. I want to be able to really set my boundaries, to really take care of my own needs and maybe not expect him so much to take care of my needs. Especially if he didn't want to, then I need to take care of my needs, even if that means walking away from the relationship. I want to show up differently in certain aspects. So that's number 7. Okay, look at how would you like to show up differently. Number 8, what makes a great partner? I want you to brag, really now be your own cheerleader. So you know what you did good in a relationship, but apart from that, what makes you awesome? So I actually said it already in this training. I said I'm really well trained in how to treat a man for him to feel empowered and seen and like a true man. Like, hell yeah, that makes me a great partner. I think I'm attractive. I think I'm sexy. I love my curves. That makes me a great partner. I am passionate about my work. That makes me a great partner. I love adventure. I like trying new things. I bring excitement to life. That makes me a great partner. So really write down and seriously, do not censor yourself. Like, be as self-centered as you need to. Brag about yourself. What makes you a great partner? Everything, all the details, big and small things, everything, okay? Write that down. Number 9, it's very important that throughout the time of a breakup, you really take care of your health and fitness. So, first of all, going through a breakup is difficult. It's physically exhausting. So when we process emotions, you feel physically drained. So if your physical health is off balance, it makes it really difficult. It lowers your immune system, and it's you feel you just don't have energy to go through that process. So it's super important that physically you're in a good shape, so you actually have the energy to go through the breakup, to deal with those things. Because if your health is really down, what you end up doing is, again, hiding the pain and distracting yourself, going into rebounds, because you won't be able to take it because you don't have the strength to hold the process. Super important. Also, there's a reason why we call it revenge body. One of the easiest way to start feeling good about yourself is really being in good shape. So start looking at the food that you eat, work out, get into the best shape. I did. I got into such amazing shape after my breakup, which was it really helped me to feel good. And the opposite is true. When we start binging on food and eat emotionally and put on weight, it hugely impacts our self-esteem. And you're already dealing with a low self-esteem after the breakup. So if you add now the physical challenges, or like, you stop fitting in your clothes, or you just don't look good in your clothes, you get, chubbier and bigger, and you don't like yourself, that just makes it all so much worse. You're spiraling down instead of spiraling up. So super important to really pay attention to your health and fitness. That's like your foundation. Number 10, allow yourself to flirt. Now, look, that doesn't mean go and date right away if you're not ready. And it also, like I said, doesn't mean get into the relationship right away. That's not about that. But flirting is basically about flirting with life, about playing with the masculine and feminine polarity. It activates your sexual energy, right? The juiciness in your life. It makes you feel alive. So this may mean going on dating apps, and really without even the intention of meeting anyone, but just like swiping and seeing, oh, he's handsome, she's cute, chatting with them and allowing yourself, just to be forward, to be flirty, be seductive. If you want to go on a date, or simply go out, dress up, and when you're in the shop, just like, look at someone. Go out and, and flirt with a stranger. One of the things I did during my breakup is I took myself out on a date. And I dressed up, I put the lipstick on, I was looking amazing. And I'm walking to the restaurant, and while walking to the restaurant, this guy stopped me. And it was in Poland. He was British, just living in Poland. And he was like, I'm so sorry, I know like you're a stranger, but I just wanted to say, you're stunning. And I was like, thank you. Then I walk, and he followed me. He's like, wait, actually, gosh, can I just talk to you a little bit more? I'm just like so mesmerized by you. Now he asked me out. I was not interested in a date, but I'll tell you honestly, I felt amazing. I was like, hell yeah. That made me feel alive. And that's a reminder that even when we lose our partner, you're still attractive, and there's so many people who would love to date you. And now the last one, number 11. So like I said, it's a process. Few steps forward, 1, 2 steps back. Few steps forward, 1, 2 steps back. When you end up in this phase of stepping back, right? So when you get pulled back, when the pain takes over, when you start feeling like, gosh, like I miss them so much, I wish we could go back, and then you're like, but they didn't treat me well, this should end, and there's all of this confusion. So the pain is coming back. When the pain comes back, I want you to connect to this pain and ask it, what am I not seeing? What do you want to tell me? Because this pain is trying to tell you something. So what you do is you close your eyes, connect to your body, and first start to understand where this pain, this feeling is inside of your body. Maybe it's your upper chest, maybe it's your heart, maybe it's your solar plexus, your belly, it may be in different places in your body. So first locate the pain, and then ask this pain, what message do you have for me? What do you want me to see? In my case, what was happening was anytime I felt pain and I really missed him and I wanted to reach out, when I would connect to my pain, because I would feel the pain that he abandoned me, and he abandoned me so easily. He just left me like this for someone else. So it was very painful for me. So I'm sitting with the pain, and I'm asking the pain. It was actually in my chest, asking the pain, what do you want me to see? What message do you have for me? And the message was always the same, that I am abandoning myself. The pain I felt of him so easily abandoning me, it was to show me how I easily abandon myself, how easily I abandon myself in the relationship by abandoning my own needs for him. That was the message. And this is a huge thing, because unless you understand why this pain is there, you're not going to change your patterns. You're going to get into the same type of a relationship. You're going to sort of date the same person just with a different face and keep going through the same and the same and the same. And you'll be wondering, why am I stuck in the same pattern? Why nothing changes? So that's a huge thing. Connecting to your pain and asking it, what's your message for me? What's your message for me? Everything can be taken to you, can be taken to yourself. So my love, these are the 11 steps, 11 things, but I actually have a bonus one for you. Number 12. It's to channel your energy, especially your sexual energy, into something. So you're feeling a lot of pain, maybe a lot of anger. That's energy. So you have a lot of energy, which right now is being transformed into sadness, into grief, into viciousness, into whatever else. So you have all of this energy being activated. And you get to take this energy and channel it into something else. So if you feel, for example, really angry, you can start shaking your body. You can start shaking the body, shaking, and then sit on your computer and do the work and work on the project. Or you can take this energy and go to the gym and channel it into working out. So you can channel this energy. Remember, all of the emotions you're feeling, including the tears and the pain and the sadness, that's energy. And energy can become pain, it can become laughter, it can become an orgasm, it can become focus, it can become determination, all of it. That's just energy changing its form, but it's all energy. So you get to channel this. So love, now I want to share with you something, especially for women who, we went through these 12 different aspects. And I said I want to speak more about like opening your sexuality and sexual healing. So a few days ago, I opened my online course for women called Sexual Awakening. And what this is exactly that. It teaches you all of the incredible aspects of female sexuality. And I love this training. And I think it's something that every woman should really go through. It's like the sex education that we never received and we should have. But if you are going through the breakup, or if you're still healing from that, then this is like the best time of your life to actually dive into your sexuality. Because this is the highest leverage point that will allow you to shift the story. When you're connected to your yoni, to your sexuality and your pleasure, you're automatically like snapping out of the feelings of low self-esteem. You feel you deserve because you're connected to your body. You feel more joyous and more alive and more juicy in life. And also your filters are higher because when you know how to like connect to your body and take care of your pleasure, you're not starving for connection with men. So you're not going to jump into the first relationship that is going to be the same pattern. You're going to be like, you know what? I'm so satisfied with myself. Like, you got to be a really good, high quality partner for me to want to engage with you. So this allows you to kind of wait and really filter and choose wisely the next partner. So Sexual Awakening for Women is an online course, and it's 6 aspects of sexuality for women. So we look at what is sexual energy. So when we talk about sexual energy, I also guide you through different practices to move this energy. So like I said in bonus step number 12, channeling the energy, you're going to get exercises that will show you how to channel this energy into different aspects of your life. So we're going to talk about sexual energy, how it flows in your body, what is sexual energy, and how to start feeling your energy body. We're going to talk about the multi-orgasmic nature of a woman. So how to have multiple orgasms, like different types of orgasm. My love, you know about the G-spot? There are 3 other magical spots. Actually, 4, because the 4th one is like a whole different story. But you can have multiple orgasms from genital stimulation. In fact, 8 different genital orgasms. And then you can also orgasm in other ways without having your genitals stimulated. So that's what you're going to learn in this training. We're going to talk about sexual healing. So going deeper into how we store traumas, which again, breakup is a form of a sexual trauma for women. So we're going to talk about what you can do to help you release that, heal that, what you can do on your own as well, especially because there's some professional like treatments, but you can do this yourself as well. We're going to talk about sexual blueprints. So this is big, my love, because maybe you discovered in your previous relationship that you guys were awesome together, but you just didn't fully match sexually. Or maybe you really hit it sexually, but other things were not working, but you just kind of stayed together because sex was so good. So we're going to talk about sexual blueprints and sexual compatibility. Because just like you have your personality type, you have your human design and astrology type, you also have sexuality type. So learning about it will allow you to be more mindful when choosing the next partner. Then we're going to talk about Tantric Sex. What is Tantric Sex? How to start having and enjoying Tantric Sex. So how to move from this physical experience into these deep, like, experiences that alter your consciousness. We're going to talk about rituals and sex magic ritual. And finally, I will guide you through a yoni puja, which is a practice, a ritualistic worship of your yoni, of your vagina. So all of this is inside of Sexual Awakening for Women. And if you want to join, and I'm going to post the link in a moment, if you want to join, let me put it in the comments right now if you guys are interested in jumping on it right away. Until tomorrow, until the end of Sunday, we have a very special offer. So instead of $199 for this training, you can get it for $129, so $70 off. And this is open until the end of Sunday. Now, if you would prefer working more one-on-one, I guide people through this process, and this is for men and women. I also guide couples through conscious uncoupling processes. So if you feel like this is something you need and that you want, what I invite you to do is simply send an application to speak to me. So before I work with anyone, I get on a call, and for half an hour, we talk. You get to share what's happening for you, what's true for you. You get to tune into me and see if you feel safe and comfortable. I get to see what's happening with you on a deeper level and give you some advice and give you some tips and tell you specifically in what way we could work together. So once again, I'm posting this in comments right now. This is the link. If you would like to book a session, and it's a free session, I want you to fill out the application to tell me a bit of information about yourself, and then we'll schedule the call and we'll talk. So darling, so these are the two things I wanted to share with you. So if you're a woman and you want to go through really like this process of exploring and learning about your sexuality so that you can reconnect to your radiance and your juiciness, then darling, that's for you. And something I want to share before we end this this call, I've been posting about it a lot, and if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you've seen it. I have been spoiled by the universe, by my clients, by people in the last few months. I've received incredible opportunities. I'm currently in London to see clients. Like basically, I came here for work, so I get to travel for work. I'm working with these incredible people that I'm just personally happy to connect with them because they're just amazing, inspiring people. I got birthday gifts from my clients, and it's like really thoughtful gifts that took effort, took money, but they were willing to go an extra mile for me. I hit my best financial month last month. It's the goal that I've had for myself for like a year or so, and I hit it in August. Boom. I got to celebrate that. And, and I look at these things and I'm just like being reminded that, okay, so I lost that partner. I lost that relationship. That ended. In a way, it didn't work out. It was broken. And there's a lot of, not a lot, I'm sorry. There's still some pain over losing this. There is sentiment towards this man, right? And okay, I'm taking my time. Again, I'm in it for the long run. But then I'm being treated in all of these beautiful ways by other people, and I'm being given these incredible opportunities, reconnecting with some friends, and just wow, just loving it so much, how life is treating me and reminding me that I am taken care of and I'm deserving. And the more I step into my sexual energy, the more I connect to my feminine energy, the more these things happen. That's really the essence for women. So I'm really hoping for everyone who's watching live replay. Thank you so much for being here, by the way. I love the fact that you guys are taking time on this Saturday morning to be with me. Or if you're watching the replay also, just welcome, welcome, welcome. But really, whether you want to join this program or if you want to do your own thing, but just connecting to your sexuality, it's a game changer, my love. We need to be simmering all the time. This is the core. Don't allow this breakup to kill your spirit. Don't allow this breakup to shut your sexuality, your orgasmic potential, your ability to feel pleasure in life. Instead, keep connecting to your turn on, keep connecting to your arousal, to your body, and your body, your yoni, will guide you out of the pain into the next level in your life. Okay? I'm not talking again, moving on and coming back to feeling as good as you did before. No, that's easy to do. You can, again, get into a rebound relationship and be there. I'm talking about permanently upgrading your life, up-leveling your life so that you don't just feel okay. You're better than before. You end up going for the goals that that you had on your list for many years, but you didn't have the energy. Like, eliminate the self-sabotage inside of you so that you can expand for more joy in pleasure, so that you don't sabotage yourself when you're getting more. All of this is available for you. So that was the intention for this YouTube live. And again, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys. Have a beautiful weekend, and I'll try to be here next Saturday, maybe in 2 weeks, but I'll try to really be doing these things on a weekly basis because I'm enjoying them a lot. So my love, have a lovely day. Mwah!